So yeah, hello everyone, so today I'm back with some more new customs, and yeah, like I said, I just basically figured I'd get back into making them, and I couldn't make them for a while since I didn't have one key component that I needed to make them. I won't get into details which one it was, but anyways, yeah, here are the customs for this video. So anyways, yeah, so first off I'll start off with the actual Thomas characters that I made, and starting off this list is, as well, my version of Oliver. Now this is another version of, this is my version of Oliver, like I said, and basically, so this is basically my take on Oliver, where he's basically blue instead of green, and he has a different shape. So yeah, so I gave Oliver a different face, and I gave him his JWR in 11, but I made them blue. Well, I made the area around them blue, nothing on the back there. And as I said, there's nothing in the back. And anyways, there's the other side of him. So yeah, moving on. Next up is Smudger. Well, this is basically my version of Smudger, where he's basically not a different shape. So basically, I made Smudger out of my real steam Percy, and I covered up his number 6 on both sides. And yeah, and of course Oliver, I made him, well, my version of Oliver, I made him out of a motorized Thomas that I have. So yeah, and lastly for this video is Murdock, but I didn't really do nothing with Murdock, but what I did do it with is I made him a tender, since for those of you who don't know, my Murdock, his tender broke years ago, so that's why I just have the front of him, which I don't mind. That's why I didn't make a new one for him. Now the front of this truck I drew a face on when I was younger, so I had to cover it up with some, so I covered it up the best I can. And yeah, and also I gave him coal on the top there, and yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say. Also Murdock's coupling, I gave him a different coupling, so it would match the truck's coupling. But yeah, anyways, yeah, moving on. Next up here are other things. So let's start off. Well, here's some random characters that I made. Starting off this list, starting off this category is Fearless Freddy Krueger. Now, Fearless Freddy Krueger, I got the idea to make him from D. Coleman H. when I saw one of D. Coleman H's videos years ago, and I saw this video again this year or recently. So I decided to make him. So Fearless Freddy Krueger, he's basically like Freddy Krueger from the movie Nightmare on Elm Street. And even though I'm not really a big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, probably because I haven't seen it in years, I still decided that I would make him, since, well, why not? And I wanted to turn this Fearless Freddy into something. This is my extra Fearless Freddy. And yeah, so what I did was I gave him an evil face like he has. I tried to draw his like evil teeth, but I couldn't do that the best I could. So I gave him a great big evil smile. And for his claw, for his hand that has the knives and stuff on it in the movie, I did like the way Duke Coleman H did. It was like he put it above the buffer. So that's my best take on it. And his hat, I just basically put it on his funnel. Since Freddy Krueger has like a brown fedora, I just basically did the best I could for his funnel. And on this side, I should mention that the stickers on this side are messed up on Fearless Freddy, and same on the back. But on this side, they're like okay, somewhat. So yeah, so just fair to point that out. Anyways, next up here are some other characters. Starting off this list, next up is this character is Pac-Man as a Thomas character. And I made Pac-Man out of a yellow truck here. That's actually a yellow Brendan Bay car. And I just covered up the Brendan Bay logo on both sides. I covered up the roof, and I gave him a yellow face. But yeah. And sorry if I'm getting confused with my words somewhat. I should mention that. Anyways, the final character in this category is Purple Guy as a Thomas character. I don't know if you can like tell Purple Guy's face, but since Purple Guy has a purple face, I tried the best I could. So yeah, and I covered up I made Purple Guy out of a purple clown car, so that's why I covered up the clown thing on both sides of him. And yeah, and finally, here are And finally, the last category for this video is rolling stock. And starting off this category is, as you can tell, this is the Pepsi truck that I decided to make. I've seen some people make a Pepsi car using a blue van, and I have that exact blue van that people use sometimes. I've only seen one person use that blue van, but yeah. But anyways, that's not important right now. But anyways, also I should mention is that this car had like a logo on it on this side. So I had to cover up the logo, and then put a Pepsi, and then put a hand-drawn Pepsi logo on there. I drew the Pepsi logo on both sides for this car, I should mention. And finally, lastly, the last custom for this video is another YouTube play button truck. Now this YouTube play button truck, I made one before last year, and I decided to make another one. Now this truck actually came with scruff, and this truck originally had gray wheels, but I gave it black wheels. And of course, every time I say the color, I just have to clarify that. I'm not trying to be rude. Okay, I always have to clarify that. But yeah, like I said, that's pretty much all I wanted to say for this. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and bye everyone. Bye.